Southwest Pre-Sales Regional Manager for Ecorobotix. Behind us right here is the ARA. It is an ultra high precision AI driven spot sprayer. So I wanted to talk through some like technical points with it. We'll start with the back. It has 156 nozzles that run across the back on a bar. There's 2 camera modules underneath each hood, and there's a 3D and RGB camera in each module. It has the ability to go up for traveling down the road and whatnot to compact it. Also, too, I'd like to make out the point of like the simplicity of the system. Just with the bar and the cameras underneath the hood. I always like when I see implements and everything within the field, less is more in some circumstances. But we have the ability through data collection and everything to offer a lot of utility to growers. So we're able to thin, we're able to precision weed, and then also we're able to spray on target just the crop itself for insecticides and fungicides. So in the front of the machine as well, when you purchase the unit, you get an 80-gallon tank that like has your mixture in it that you're going to be going in your material, and then there's a 160-gallon tank to the right of it that is fresh water, so you have 3 full loads on board at all time. That gives you the ability to continuously spray for long durations, and with the amount of material reduction that we're experiencing in the field, you're able to cover a lot of acreages in a very short period of time and stay very efficient. So we are able to run weeding at about 4.5 miles an hour and then thinning about 2.5 to 3 in most circumstances based on density of your planting.
Hello, I'm Katerina Lee. I run the agronomy side of this machine, and what I'll do is I'll explain maybe a little bit of how this machine works, and then I'll have it go forward and we'll walk the field together, and I'll explain the perspective of what I'm looking at. So what Kaylin explained was the technical pieces of it, but how are we taking images and making decisions of what should be sprayed versus not sprayed? So we have 2 simple cameras that are underneath each hood in camera boxes. One's a red, blue, green camera, the other's a 3D camera. And so what that lets us do is take pictures at a very high rate continuously, and what we're doing is plant by plant detection. So we're gonna know what the crop is, we're gonna know what the non-target or the weeds are in the field, and we're gonna be able to decide based on the application that you're doing. So if you're doing a beneficial spray, it might be a fungicide, insecticide, miticide, micronutrient, we're gonna detect the crop and spray just the crop with the proper nozzles that are assigned to it. Or on the inverse of that, if you're playing an herbicide, we're gonna spray the weeds with the most appropriate nozzle placement. The 3D camera, you go, well, what's that for? If I'm going to be changing trajectory or I don't have straight rows, we'll adjust the proper nozzle placement for what needs to be done at that angle of when you're turning. Another thought process is around what we do a buffer or a security zone. So we can actually have that be self-defined by the user, and when you're going through and you don't want to hit the crop, we're going to change which nozzles are activated for that reason. What we're doing today is we're going to be applying an herbicide, if you will. It's just water, but we're going to be treating our weeds in an onion field. The center skirt here has been removed just for demonstration purposes today. It's usually on during a regular application, but I do invite the group to walk behind the machine. So we've turned on our onion model. We have set the security zone to be a 1/2 inch. And what that'll do is not spray the crop at all. When you go through, take a look at the pattern and also go ahead and feel the onion leaves to see if there's any residual or off spray target of water that's been applied. I think we're ready to go if you are, Justin. Sweet.
And again, just watch, please come on up, see us spraying, see all 120 nozzles on each bar.
There are 52 per boom and 156 in total.
So funny
So as I'm walking through, I'm paying attention to where my spray pattern is. I'm seeing the darker brown area of water that's been sprayed towards the lighter one. I'm checking to make sure that I don't have any excess spray on my crop plants. And so if I were putting material in the tank, it would be a contact material.
Sorry about that.
That would only target the broadleaves. If any of that contact would get onto the onions, it could harm them. But with precision application, we're able to use materials that previously would only be used in a broadcast sense in an open field and not harm the crop.
And the major benefits of that are probably twofold, right? You're saving on material, 50, 80, 90%, depending on the reed pressure, but then also there is some very compelling university and academic studies saying that because you're not applying a broadcast application, the onions are not being set back, which means your time of harvest is reduced, and potential of increased yield or size or grade is bumped up quite a bit just because it doesn't have that material effectiveness to it. Is that right, Cap?
Yeah, you're spot on. So what happens when we use a systemic material that has selectiveness to it is that it creates some crop phytotoxicity, whether we like it or not. And what that does is it pushes that crop timing back from a harvest perspective, from a yielding perspective. And so being able to change the chemistry that's in the tank from what the industry standard is, it gives the advantage to the crop that maybe it didn't have before. Other tools, just to call out what growers would do today, is cultivate. Problem with cultivation though is their knives can only get so close and it can't cut in between the plants. The only other option outside of that then is also manual labor, and that's becoming harder and harder to find. So being able to reduce the material that you're applying from a broadcast perspective, the type of material that's in the tank, and also reduce your labor inputs really offsets the investment that growers are looking towards in purchasing a machine. We do go through a dealer network. We are not selling direct to growers at this time.
Okay, so it's very important the dealer network, right? So you have trusted dealers, and the tech is able to be serviced by those dealers. So that way the people, the growers know and appreciate and love it, that use RGO or whoever, will come out and service the equipment as well.
So we have two here today. One is Coastal Tractor, the other is Keithley Williams Fabrication. And the reason we're going through a dealer network is that they're able to provide service. And so as a startup, right now we're a sprayer manufacturer, but what these dealers can do is have established relationships not only to sell the machine to the grower, but also to service them long term.
Yep, very good. We'll come back in a little bit, enjoy the private demos. If you're a grower and you want to see this stuff, or anybody want to see this stuff work in a private setting and ask a lot of hard questions, you can do that during that time frame, and we'll come back here to finish off in the bed demo section in a little bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.